Alright guys, we have reached the final in Acapulco. Both of the semi-final matches went exactly like I predicted. Macháč defeated Nakashima in 3 sets, and Davidovich Fokina defeated Shapovalov in straight sets. Shapovalov, man. He was on an 8-match winning streak. That was the longest winning streak he had ever been on in his career. He just won Dallas, and then he won 3 matches here in Acapulco. He did not look that great in this match. In the second set, he was down 4-1. It could have been 5-1. Fokina had a chance to go 5-1 up and serve for the match. But he came back and actually got himself serving for the set at 6-5. But then he got broken and lost a tiebreak, I believe 7-1. So he did lose in straight sets, like I predicted. Yeah, he was on an 8-match winning streak, but that is not really super crazy. All that requires is that you win one tournament and then get to the semis in the next tournament of these small tournaments. So it's not really that crazy streak. It's not like Sinner, who won like 20 something matches in a row, and then he was winning like 20 sets in a row. It's not like that. Yeah, Shapovalov, he played well in Dallas and won that title, biggest title of his career. But after he won that, and then after he won a couple matches here in Acapulco, people started hyping the crap out of him. And some people were saying, Shapovalov, after he won the title in Dallas. I remember some people were saying, Shapovalov can win a Grand Slam this year. Shapovalov can win a Grand Slam, man. The recency bias is insane with tennis fans. Shapovalov will never win a Grand Slam. He will never do that. Yeah, he can have a few good tournaments in a year. Small ones, most likely. But he cannot win a Grand Slam. He's not consistent enough for that. He is more consistent than he was before, but he's still not nearly as consistent. Look at the only Grand Slam that was played this year so far, the Australian Open. He lost, I believe, in the second round. People are hyping him and Auger Aliassime like, oh, the Canadians are back, guys, just because they've been going deep in a couple tournaments this year. They flopped at the only big tournament, the Australian Open. They both lost in the second round. Auger Aliassime from 2 sets to love up. So I don't really get the hype with these guys just because they put together a good week or two. I mean, I guess it's still good to win these small titles. It's just funny when people think that it will translate to them doing something at the Grand Slams, because more often than not it doesn't. They lose before getting to the second week of Grand Slams, even if they put together a couple of good weeks prior to it. But anyway, good for them for winning titles. But Shapovalov will never win a Grand Slam. That will never happen. Neither will Auger Aliassime. These guys are not nearly as consistent enough as winning a Grand Slam requires. So, anyway, Davidovich Fokina is in the final against Macháč. And this is a bit of an interesting final because neither of these players have won a title before. Macháč has been in one final. That was last year in Geneva, when he lost to Casper Ruud after Macháč defeated Djokovic in the semifinals in a quite strange match where Macháč got bageled in the second set after winning the first set 6-4, and then he gave Djokovic a breadstick right after getting bageled himself in that final set. So the final score was 6-4, love 6, 6-1 to Macháč. I actually didn't watch any of that match, but a bit of a strange scoreline there. And then Macháč went on to lose that final to the more experienced player Casper Ruud. The 250 merchant, we can also call him. Or at least the clay merchant. Yeah, clay merchant is clay and random big tournament run merchant. I don't even know. 250, 500, whatever. And Fokina, he has been in 2 finals, lost both of them. One was Monte Carlo 2 years ago when he lost to Tsitsipas, who peaks in Monte Carlo. He has won 3 titles there. And it looks like, speaking of Tsitsipas, it looks like he's peaking again in time for the clay season, as he is in the final in Dubai, though I have predicted him to lose, but I would not be surprised at all if he wins. And the other final that Fokina was in was, of course, the Delray Beach final a few weeks ago when he lost to Kecmanovic after being up 5-2 in the final set and having match points, and lost that set 7-5. But good for him, because he has not let that discourage him too much, and he is back in another final. And now he has a golden opportunity to win his first title, because Macháč has never won a title either. So that will be difficult for Macháč to win his first title against, well, I guess it is also against a player who's never won a title, but it will be difficult for Macháč as he does not have that experience of winning a title yet. Nor does Fokina, though he has been in one more final. And I guess a bit longer career than Macháč has had. But this is a golden opportunity, because Fokina is not playing someone who has ever won a title before. So this is a golden opportunity for Fokina to get his first title. And I know Macháč also doesn't have a title, but Fokina has made more finals. I guess it's only one more, but he really choked that last final away when he probably should have won. And he has achieved more than Macháč, been on the main tour longer. Macháč has come onto the scene relatively recently. So the head-to-head between these two players is one love for Macháč. They played once on hard courts, which was last year in Shanghai, and Macháč won a tough 3-setter. So you can't really take much away from that result in making this prediction. This is a tough one to make because, as I've said, neither player has won a title before. Yeah, this is pretty tough. This seems like it can go either way. Fokina, the problem with him is that he is kind of known for being a choker. And this year he has kind of gotten better at not being a choker, except in that one final he was in. So in the other matches, he has actually been kind of clutch. He came back from 2 sets to love down in 2 matches at this year's Australian Open. And in this very tournament, Acapulco, he saved 4 match points in his first match against Mattia Bellucci, I believe. And this match against Shapovalov, he won in 2 tie-breaks after Shapovalov was serving for that second set at 6-5. Granted, Fokina did also show his choking nature a bit there, because he was up 4-1, had a chance to go up 5-1, and then he almost lost a set from that point as Shapovalov served for it, but he did still close that out in the tiebreak and dominated that, winning it 7-1. So yeah, this is a tough one to predict, and seems like a little bit of a 50-50 match. But I will have Fokina winning this in 3 sets, even though he is known as a choker and still a choker in finals, judging by this year, the only final that he was in this year. I think he can win, like, a title. I do not think that just because he's known as a choker, he can never win a title. his good opportunity to win a title will be something like this, when he has played someone who has never won a title before themselves. So he will be very hungry to win this title against this kind of opponent. Not that Macháč is a weak opponent, but he has never won a title, and that comes into play when you're in a final. So Fokina will really want to take this chance, and it's good for him that he hasn't gotten discouraged after choking that final. He's given himself another chance by making it to another final. So I'll just give the slight edge to him, and if he chokes again, of course that won't be surprising, but I think that a day can come when he finally does get over the line in a final. I will not say that this guy can never win a title just because he is known for choking. I think that he can win a title, and if he plays someone who has never won a title themselves, that kind of gives him a bit better chances. So if there's any time for him to win his first title, it's right now, and I will give him my slight edge and have him winning in 3 sets. But of course I will not be surprised at all if he loses. But my official prediction will be that Alejandro Davidovich Fokina defeats Tomáš Macháč in the final of Acapulco 2025 and finally wins his first title.